Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I had the wrong settings set, so if you heard her talking about her new popsicle stand, then you heard it. So hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Our weekend was kind of blah, and that's fine. It's this time of year. I came out with a video this morning, kind of talking about the uh, being discouraged and reselling. So go check that out. I'm not going to rehash that here. One thing I do want to talk about, which is probably the more um, sort of a spin-off of that, I guess, is that not everyone that decides to become a reseller full time is going to succeed in within 5 years. So you may do well in the first year or two, whatever, but due to a number of different factors, um, there's some of us that are going to fail. Now we've made it now full time. What was it back in 2019 at the end of January that we decided to do this? So we're now a solid 7 years into this thing as full timers, and we're making it work. And this sort of montage or whatever you want to talk about to get this live stream started, I wanted to kind of just start off on that topic and talk about why people fail and why people what are some things you can do to succeed. Now, the biggest thing I see is that there's a lot of people out there trying to make full-time work, and they have a hobbyist mindset. They don't treat it as a scalable business. They just look at it as a way to kind of take a little mini vacation from working a 9 to 5 from somebody. This comes from poor planning, lack of execution. You're pretty much not focusing on the things that actually sell when you're sourcing. Maybe you don't have customer service skills, that type of thing, and you don't really look at your data. I think there's a lot of us resellers out there, if we're being honest with ourselves. When's the last time you looked at your listings quality report? When's the last time you decided to look at your traffic reports and your sales reports? Now, I'm not saying you should be looking at that every day, but you should have a good grasp of where you're at. What kind of money are you making? What's your margins? I mean, we all know eBay does a great job of showing us what we sell, but because they have incomplete information, we can't really know unless we're doing the math. I mean, you can set everything up with like My Reseller Genie or something like that. And that's another thing. Do you, as a full-timer, and I'm giving the part-timers a break here, because part-timers are supplementing income that they already have. So the pressure to make a certain amount of money every month just isn't the same as a full-timer would have. So how many of you full-timers actually, subscribe to a My Reseller Genie, actually pay for programs like maybe a TreeCat where you can get in there and cross-list and manage all your inventory in one screen? Something like that tells me that you're investing your business. How many people actually have invested in a paper tape machine out there? How many people you have the mindset of, well, it costs $500 and I don't want to spend that kind of money. That's kind of a short-sighted way of looking at your business. We talk about growth in business, and that's much more than just growing the number of items in your store. It's finding and investing in things that make you more efficient so you can get more done throughout the day, or so you don't have to work 12 to 16 hours a day to get the same things done. So other reasons why people fail in this business: poor inventory choice. And we talk about sourcing that's where you win in this game. The Mr. Lounge had he thought that was the most ridiculous thing was Lounge. Pegasus Lounge. That was the most ridiculous thing to say you make money on the buy, but you really do. That's the foundation of everything that you do as a reseller, whether you promote or not, whether you use one photo or 24 photos. Someone that sources really high quality in-demand stuff is going to have a better chance of getting those things sold than someone who sells something that's cute but doesn't have any sales history.
But it's cute.
Yeah, well, it may be cute, but it's not. What's cute? Cute to me is how much money is being deposited in my bank every week. That's cute. That's cute, okay? I don't feel too cute when that number is not very high, okay? How about bad pricing? So we know this thing is worth $20, right? But it's really only worth 10. So that causes you, the idea of bad pricing causes two problems. It causes you to buy it, buy bad, right? But also you get that item and you are stuck on the idea that you have to get $20 for this thing. And you go and do further research. Maybe around Christmas time it was going for $20, but now it's going for 15. And now your margins are gone. You know, any kind of margins you had that makes it worth your while, it's just not worth it. And we're not looking at competition. Maybe you're so desperate sometimes to get rid of this stuff, you're racing to the bottom, and all your efforts are just to kind of get your money back. No business succeeds that way. And again, it ties directly into the first step, which is buying your items. And then we talk about, okay, you've sourced, right? And you've sourced pretty good stuff, and you're selling things at a pretty decent clip, but you kind of feel like it could be better. Well, what are your listings looking like? Are you doing the 100-yard dash past your items when you're taking photos? Do you have good lighting? Do you have the tools that you need to make sure that you have good quality photos? Are you putting together good titles? Are you utilizing item descriptions, guys? I mean, the many listings that I see right now, people still don't have an item description in there. And it's something where you can go use a free chat GPT and say, here's the title. Give me a optimized and bulletized. I like bulletized. It's just cleaner to me. Item description for this item. And then what does that do? You might think it means nothing. Those item descriptions that have keyword rich descriptions are better seen, or better. That wasn't supposed to happen. They're better exposed on Google. So you get a lot of external traffic to your listings from Google when you hit what Google wants, which are those keyword rich item descriptions. And of course your item specifics, where that is more eBay specific, and it will certainly help get traffic to your listings. Won't necessarily get you the sale, but the more traffic we get to our listings, the better chance we have to get to the sale. And having a quality listing, once the buyer sees your listing, then that helps with your conversion and that type of thing. How about like what we talked about? No business plan. You just get up in the morning and say, I feel like listing 2 items today. You know what? Maybe tomorrow I'll list 10. Just having no plan, having no schedule, bad with cash flow, ignoring, like we talked about, ignoring the metrics, and then just feeling so overwhelmed because you have no plan. You're jumping from fire to fire to fire. Hell, I have a plan and I'm jumping from fire to fire, fire to fire. I can't imagine waking up every morning and just putting my finger into the wind and saying, what am I going to do today in my business, and allowing the fires to basically dictate what my actions are every day. I can't imagine.
Am I your fire?
Sometimes. When you come in around Christmas time and say, honey, I need you to pull this Christmas ornament down, or I need you to put these back up in the rafters, or I need you to do this, that, and the other thing. And you have no patience for me, in the sense that when you come and ask me for something to be done, you want it done like now. And I'm like halfway in the middle of something, and I absolutely hate not being able to finish a task, putting it aside to go work on something else.
Can I tell you something, though?
What's
I
that?
have no patience for anyone at this stage in my life.
Well, I think we know that.
I don't have any
Well,
patience
that's
for
a skill you
anyone,
need to work on.
except for my grandbaby.
So, and then the last thing I think that people need to work on, otherwise you're not in a good shape, guys, and that is customer service. And I know a lot of people just kind of blow it off. And I think the reason why people blow that step off is because you really have not ever really encountered or had the need in your life to have customer service training. Maybe you worked in a back office. Maybe you didn't deal with someone. Maybe you worked in construction. Maybe you haven't had the face-to-face contact or the over-the-phone contact with a customer to deal with problems, and maybe your customer resolution isn't, or your problem resolution isn't where it needs to be. Hell, in this channel we talk about it a lot, but it also spills over to not taking care when you're shipping, not properly packing things, not shipping in a timely manner, kind of pushing off return to things, and allowing a return to kind of lapse, violating like Vero violations, just not taking the time to, and I get my share of arrows, by the way, but not taking the time to figure out, okay, well, I can't buy this particular thing, so I'll kind of avoid it. There's a lot of different things that you can do that will ultimately hurt your account health. And once you hurt your account health, it's harder to compete against people who actually have a clean account health. Now, that's the bad. So we offset the bad with the good. So how does one get through to the over 5 years? Now, I went through AI. AI says, about 50% of sellers will make it to the 5-year mark. But as far as full timers, it's like 30 to 50% will make it there. So how do we get there? And I think, of course, it goes to smart sourcing. Sourcing, winning the battle, that's the biggest step. Finding sources. And maybe you are used to going to a yard sale or a thrift store. Have you thought about venturing out and finding other avenues and maybe dedicated vendors? Go to a flea market, meet people that sell some of the same things that you're selling, and get your business card or whatever it is and say, look, I am looking to buy this kind of stuff every week. Go to a yard sale and say, look, whatever you're not selling, hit me up. Give me a great deal. I'll come get it. Because again, you may not be able to get the best, highest demand stuff, but if you get stuff at pennies on the dollar, maybe that isn't so hot. A lot of stuff I get, just stuff that really isn't the hottest, highest demand stuff, but I get it for pennies on the dollar. And guess what? When someone needs it and they're used to spending $100, they see that they can get it for $60 on eBay through my listing. You know what? There they are. I'm making the sale. Optimizing your listings. Of course, we talk about that all the time. Use AI to help you get there. If you're not sure on how to make a good title, what one looks like, AI will help you through that. If you're not sure on how to implement an item description, AI can help you get through that. Having a business mindset is another thing. Just being mindful that this isn't about you waking up in the morning and just getting to work when you feel like it. This is a business. This is a 9-to-5 job that you've created for yourself. Now, it could be 9 to 5. It could be 9 to 9. It could be 9 to 3 if you're very efficient. But it's getting up and doing the same things over and over again. That is why we talk about the need to list daily when eBay says you don't have to, because you're building processes that are daily that you follow every day, so you don't find yourself, I haven't listed in a week. I've been goofing off. And then consistent effort, being consistent, learning from your mistakes. We talk about that on this channel, and looking at trends like, okay, this sold 3 years ago at this price, and maybe it's not going to sell at this price anymore. And who's going to tell you that but eBay? When you're looking at your Terapeak or your product research tool that most of us have access to, we should have access, and you should be using it to see what kind of sell through this kind of item has. So that is pretty much it. And we talk about this on the channel. In 2026 we're going to be going and covering things like that on this channel, and hopefully you're going to be there in the next 5 years as a full-timer. If you're part-time, I'm cutting you some slack, because you're already doing a lot to come home to work 3, 4, 5 hours on your business. Just do the best you can. But I still believe that a lot of the best practices that we tell full-timers about, they do carry over to part-timers as well. So with that said, let's see who we have with us today. The first one I see is Derek W. Pat. Nice to see you, Derek.
Woo, Derek.
Hello, all you beautiful people. Hope everyone is doing well. Don't forget to hit that like button. I got my sale. There you go.
Yes.
Hit the like button, guys. I don't know how it works, but when you hit the like button on this channel, something happens and you magically get a sale within the next 24 hours. I don't understand. So many people say, wow, I can't believe it. I haven't had a sale in 3 days. I hit your like button, boom, got a sale. And it's not going to, and whatever it costs you to hit that like button, I'm going to reimburse you if it doesn't happen. So, Duncan says, hit the like for 50. See, he wants 55 returns. He's not quite there yet. He wants some more iNads and some chargebacks. So, please help him out with that. Okay. Let's see.
You can do it!
Keith's with us, not me. I passed that to you last stream. Your turn for the next year.
No.
For the #1 spot. Yeah. So in the chat, they're fighting, I guess, this implementation that YouTube gave us in chat for the live streamers where the chat competes for the #1 crown, and there's a leaderboard and all that stuff. I think Keith is sort of saying, okay, I was that last year. It's somebody else's turn. Derek says, sales have been great on my end. Last week, 9 total sales. I'm working a little extra hard this year to help get those sales up by staying more consistent with listing new items daily. Yes. And again, there's times that I strive every day to list every day if I can. And if I know I'm going to be gone, I will create a scheduled listing. Now, some people are like, why don't you just list it now? Well, someone could be looking for it now. True. But it's more about being consistent within the algorithm. And I am a firm believer in showing that consistency to the point where I do a daily, even if I don't have time to list. It's a rare day where I don't have time to list, where I don't make time to list. But when I certainly cannot list, like the other day before I went out to play golf, I got up 15 minutes early and did my end item sell similar, a relist process where I did the oldest 10% of my store and did that for both stores. And I can't explain how it works. It's all baked in the cake of the algorithm. But for me, that is part of my magic formula, and it works. I'm telling you guys. Duncan says, I need some motivation to pack up all these orders. It's hard to keep up.
You can do it!
You can do it!
That's my first tip. You can do it. And think about this. Motivation. Think of it in terms of you currently have the ability to do it, right? We are blessed with our health. You never know when you wake up one morning and you can't do it. You can't do it. Mm-hmm. And the more we push things off, we push off our death pile, we push off, making improvements to our business. Those improvements to our business or those changes to our business could be what allows you to continue working when something goes wrong with your health. There's Beard's working on, and I know Josh Galt and Beard and all those guys are working on media, right? So that is something that one would do when they're just tired of dealing with a lot of the heavier stuff, and they're starting to work in volume because at least for Beard, and he's getting older, he's getting up there in years, and he wants to be able to make the same kind of money and not have to put in a ton of effort.
It must be really easy to ship all those little packages.
It is, but you're just doing more of them. That's all. Just doing more customers you have to interface with. That's the problem with the volume game. I don't know. The more customers is more problems. So
I don't know if I'd rather have more smaller items and less bigger. I think I would rather have the higher.
I know that I would rather, as I'm getting older, have smaller things. We have an idea what you're talking about, though. Is this my diatribe or yours?
Your diatribe's over, sir. You already went into the list of comments, so once you do that, your diatribe's over.
Okay. So, looks like Keith's hanging on to the #2 spot. And it Flip says, robbed again. I didn't get the notification.
Oh,
sorry.
You know what? Try going in and hitting it to where you're unsubscribing and hitting it again. And sometimes that reignites YouTube for some dumb reason. It does that. So just hit it again.
Well, at least you're here with us. That's all that matters. You made it.
Yeah.
So, let's see. We got Keith has been a member for 16 months. You should join this membership. Thank me later. Well, thank you for being a member. One of our oldest members.
Keith, for everything that you have done.
And Scott just texted me. He texted the guys. Yeah, bearded picker. Because he's listening to the show.
I know who
he's watching the show, and instead of participating in the chat, he said, I should make lots of jokes about John's small package. So, yeah. So, I guess
should I tell him?
I guess he has a conscience about the package sizes that he's working with. I mean, it's bothering him. So, to the point where he's sending a text to the guys, rallying them all up so that they can say something. But nonetheless, at least you're watching. Nice to see you, Scott. That's a little payback for the little helmet action. He has this little picture of me.
Oh, don't start.
Where,
It's going to go back
oh,
up.
I mean, look, I mean, it's his show on Friday nights. He can do whatever he wants, but I just, I do admire the fact that he's making the changes that he needs to make to his business, and he's formulated a plan of action, and he's sticking to it.
You know what's scary, though, is when you're in the middle of your doom scrolling on TikTok, and all of a sudden, boom, there comes Bearded Picker, and he's in there talking to
And it ain't me just with the old man jokes. He's talking about like going to thrift stores and, all these issues with his age and all that. It's like, come on. I mean, you're putting it out there on yourself. But nonetheless, Keith, not Keith. Yes, Keith says, "Oh no, Duncan, it's all yours. I had the glory for a year." Yes. Duncan says, "John is having slow sales. I have the opposite trouble." And look, it's partially slow sales. I'll break the news to everyone. I mean, my slow sales have a lot to do with me. We can look at eBay and say, yeah, it's the time of year, and but what happens throughout the month of December for me? It's distractions after distractions. It's from sometimes we travel to California, sometimes people travel out to us. We have three different get-togethers we had over the last month and a half, and all the things in between. And that takes time. I don't care, who you are. If you have people that are out here in California for 3 out of 4 weeks, you're not going to have the same kind of time to do things for your business. And that's partially on me. Somebody said, I don't understand why, this is on the video this morning, why you're bothering selling a 30, I think I listed for like 30, 40 bucks. This motherboard on your second account when you could be spending the same time selling the stuff that is on your main account. Well, that's great, but when you blow through those listings on the main account, and you can't get more until the following week, well, you do what you can on the secondary account. That's kind of what I've been dealing with lately. So the idea is to ramp up the number of items that I get for the main account, that it'll sustain me throughout the week.
And those sometimes those items are because they were supposed to be in working condition and they weren't.
Derek says, I'm looking forward to the day my 9 weekly sales turn into 9+ daily sales.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, look, on both accounts, we had, well, it's over the weekend, but we had over 10 sales. Not that big of a deal. Actually, a slow weekend, if you ask us. But look, if we can do it with a very small store, 400 some odd items on the second store at about $20 to $25 ASP, and then in the main store, 280-ish items now at a $75 ASP. If we can do that, which is not a lot, you can do it too. Keith says, John, only 50%. That's better odds than most marriages. It is. And that explains. It is kind of sad that we meet a lot of cool people that come on here onto the chats, even whether you're the rewatch crew or you're with us live. And, we see the same faces a lot of the times, and then they just disappear. What was his name?
What was his name?
Ricky.
Ricky Bobby?
No. He's from the UK. Forgot his name now. But I don't.
Picky Ricky.
Yes, Picky Ricky. He was with us like every week.
That wasn't his name. That was something
But he was there every week on every live and up till a certain point, and you don't see him anymore. You have other people that you've seen in the chats and in the comments. You don't see them anywhere on anybody's program anymore, and you just wonder what happened. Do you not? Because if you're not reselling, you're not going to tune into reselling. Yeah, you're not going to tune into reselling content if you're not involved in reselling. If you're doing something else, if you throw your hat in the ring, if you fail, and I hate to say the word fail, but if you're not able to make it work, it is something that you're not going to tune in and watch that type of content.
I think failure is a very strong word, because that means you gave up. You stopped trying. Failure, which means you had to throw in the towel. Those are the failures. Failure, if you're trying and trying and trying and trying, you're not failing. You're just trying to get to what works.
But you can try at anything if you're not giving your full effort. Because here's the thing. it's my thought that most people who don't make this work, had they chosen a different way of doing what they were trying to do, a more optimal way, or maybe it's simply what they were selling. And here I go back to what it is you're selling again, but it's the truth. I'm not the only one. Look it up in any AI chatbot and have a conversation with it and say, what are the three most necessary things to do to succeed in this game? And the first one it's going to tell you is sourcing. And if you're not buying good, it's a lot harder. Is it impossible? No. You're going to have to list a lot. And there's a lot of people out there people on YouTube channels out there who have thousands upon thousands of very questionable things that they're selling that have low ASP, and they are making it work simply through sheer volume. So you can make it work, but you can't play the low volume game and the low ASP game. It doesn't work. The math doesn't, I'm going to list, 10 items today at $25 ASP. Well, the most you're going to make if you sell all those items is $250 before all your fees and your shipping kicks in. So you gotta strive for more per item if you're going to list less items. If you're going to list a lot, the higher ASP, the better, but it's harder to come across items like that where you're going to have hundreds of items with high ASP. So you got to play the volume game when you're playing that. Snoopy Collector is with us. Nice to see you, Snoopy Collector.
Hello.
Let's see. Keith says, John, I think 50% fail, 50% learn. Some just level up elsewhere.
Yes.
You could, well, it's probably a bad example. I was going to throw myself under the bus, but really I don't think I did, because it wasn't our fault. You could say that people who maybe are in management and work 9 to 5, run their own departments, and then they maybe lose their job, failed. But like I said, nobody at our office failed because we were it was more political why they closed our office than anything else. We had the better performing office,
right? So that's not even
by far, wasn't even close. So
that's not a very good example.
Wasn't a good example. I'm the king of bad examples. So Derek W. Pat says, I just noticed today, I guess my mind was elsewhere, but the shipping went up again. I know it was, just wasn't sure when. Glad I noticed for my free shipping items. I don't know. You're the one doing the shipping. Do you notice the prices look higher?
They look about the same. I mean, there was only one I questioned, but it was just because whoever listed it put in the wrong pounds.
Duncan, yes, you're right on this. Says, John, you could zap or fry PC motherboards if you pick them up without being grounded. We used to use anti-static straps when I used to build computers in another life. Yeah. You're very right on that, and I'm constantly touching metal in there anyway. The metal cabinet, the metal racks and stuff while I'm in there. And I understand you want to be constantly touching the metal, but
just put your foot on
it is what it is.
Thomas
S. says, got my load of old subway and street signs from New York City auction on Friday and did a Lionel train buy on Sunday. Supposed to be done buying. You know what? When the buying's good, you shouldn't set a cap on that unless you just can't afford it. If you can afford it, then, buy as much as you can.
Yeah.
And then Duncan wants you to know it's sponsored by KFC.
No, nothing here is sponsored by KFC.
You want to be blown away.
Absolutely not.
I watched a video over the weekend that popped up on my feed, and I want to thank Duncan for probably being the one that has got the YouTube algorithm to think somehow I care that much about KFC. But there's a channel, I forgot the name of the channel, but they specialize in like how things are made. So they did this thing on KFC and how the KFC chicken is made from the raising of the chicken all the way to the buying of the chicken. I can't. But they were pretty good about it. But it's like, wow, that's pretty awesome. Thomas says sales.
Yeah, but as soon as it gets into the hands of those workers are dirty and disgusting.
Well, see, their rules are they're required to wear gloves when they're working with the food.
Yeah, but some of them don't.
Well, then you go somewhere else. Thomas says sales have been good so far this year. 5 days, 40 items sold, and gross 2,800. Today did a slowdown. That's good. We're nowhere near that. I think today we had probably 300 in sales. Is that the main account? Yeah, we're at 331 on the main. So it's the best day of the year. That's not saying a whole lot. The first was 154. Friday was 109. Saturday was 219. Sunday was 242, and today's 331. And we're not done with today. So the slower sales mean that the size of my store grows because my listing activity is pretty much the same, and it is what it is. We'll just get it above 300 and work on trying to get it to 400. And if the sales happen, then they happen. Yes, Duncan, did you get your KFC toothpaste? I want to know that. Thomas says, I sold a Cobra CB radio sign on Marketplace today too. They paid $50 to ship it.
Wow.
I put in some inquiries about retiring, and the union told me I have 5 more years. So I guess I'm in UPS hell for 5 more years. So at least the overtime's gone, right? The forced overtime and all that. You can kind of chill a little bit after your 8 hours are done or whatever it is that you do.
Yeah.
Derek says,
I don't know if he chills.
Yeah, I feel you, Mr. Thomas. I'm out
of
of looking for a job myself this year. I need to get back out there and bring in some more bacon.
Some more bacon.
See, the problem with me, thinking about working for someone else, it's like, what do I need to make to replace what I can already do at home or exceed? Because if it's just about replacing what you do at home, you might as well stay at home and run your reselling business, right? So it needs to be well worth my while. And I'll be honest with you guys. A couple years ago, I was entertaining the idea of going back to Amtrak. And if they have a call center. They have virtual call center where people do work from home. And if they were hiring and they allowed me to do that from Las Vegas when the operation is in Pennsylvania, to get my 4.5, 5 years more in to retire at 60 with full retirement. With the railroad retirement versus having to wait till 67. That was very intriguing to me, and something that I could have done from home, but the opportunity never presented itself. I don't think they went that way, but I had people on the inside that were like, hey, this could be happening, we'll let you know, and it just never happened. And the thing that kind of sucks about that is we talked about it for the first time. The employees ended up getting like a $30,000 it was a back pay from the last contract that they've had, and then like almost $1,000 bonus, which employees never got a bonus at Amtrak.
No.
So it was like,
and the bonus came from the higher ups. They took it away from the higher ups and gave it to the people who actually do the work.
So look, it's and then you get all the great benefits and stuff. So the thought was very intriguing, but at the end of the day, it's like, A, the opportunity never presented itself, but B, it's like, am I going to be able to make more money doing this when it's all said and done than what I'm currently doing right now? That's I can't just go get a job locally somewhere around here and replace the income that we're doing. We'll actually be losing money. Mm-hmm. Thomas says, if it wasn't for UPS insurance, I would have quit years ago. I still have 2 kids on insurance. So that's a big part of it.
Yep, that was that's why I bawled my eyes out, is because I had 2 pregnant daughters at the time that I was carrying the insurance on. And thank God that my daughter was able to hold that baby in until January 1st, when her husband could now pick up the child on his insurance.
Yeah, the cool thing.
No kidding, she was born on January 1st.
The cool thing about the insurance that we had was that it allowed your adult kids up to the age of 26 to stay on the.
Well,
on the
a lot of
bill.
insurances do that now. But we had amazing insurance.
Thomas worked as on a lobster boat for 5 summers as a teenager, and it destroyed his shoulders.
Ooh.
If I'm going to eBay till I'm 80, I need to fix them. LOL.
Yeah, you should, and do that before you leave.
Derek W. Pat says 50% of eBay resellers fail after 5 years. That's huge. I wonder what it is for 1 year. And on the Profit Playbook podcast, I think we were talking about small businesses generally after 5 years. I think it's like 80% failure rate. But when you drill down to eBay, I was having a discussion with AI, and it's approximately 50% of businesses fail on eBay in the first 5 years. And while there is no actual study been done for full-timers, AI seems to think it's like 30 to 50% success rate as a full-timer based on a lot of the articles and how many people drop off simply off of the face of the earth from eBay. Derek says, yes, sir, you do. I have dislocated my left shoulder 3 times.
Oh.
That sucks. Derek did buy the book, Eat That Frog, 4th edition.
Ew.
I just got started reading it, and I highly recommend it. Heard Scott talk about it a few times.
Oh.
I did get the book. I haven't messed with it yet. I'm glad you reminded me of that because it's a thing you can get on Audible. I don't know what it is, but we have this Audible subscription. It's like $12.99 a month or whatever. And we haven't used the thing in a while.
I thought you canceled it, so I stopped
thought I
adding.
canceled. Well, maybe that's what you needed to hear to stop adding. But
Really?
no, I don't want to listen to
Okay.
it. I wanted to show you the photo so you saw it. But that would be the next thing I do is listen to that Eat That Frog, and I think it's the sequel to See Spot Run. I was giving Scott or Beard a hard time about his choice of books. Like, okay, Eat That Frog. Okay, that's the book right after See Spot Run. That's like a first grade book.
That's a terrible name. Absolutely terrible.
What, See Spot Run or Eat That Frog?
Eat That Frog. If anybody, if you want to know what Jenna doesn't like besides KFC,
is eating frogs.
Is frogs. Frogs are the most disgusting things to me in the absolute world, along with reptiles. But frogs, my sisters used to torture me with frogs. They would pick them up in their big bullfrogs. Don't do that. And they would carry them in the house, and I would literally jump onto my mom's bed and they pinned me up against it was a horrible time. I hate frogs.
He says, been bloody cold, though, as we had snow for a few days here, and it's -6 degrees.
Brr.
So the diesel heater is going on and staying on as once.
Diesel?
Yeah. As once running, it can run on refined cooking oil.
What?
Which I get for free from the
What?
KFC.
Wow.
Derek,
guys really do it differently.
Derek says, ka-ching, that makes 2 FAE sales today. Must have hit the like button. Yeah. All you need to do is hit it once. Don't hit twice. Brenda Smith says, hello, everyone. I started this year listing old cookbooks from my dad's estate. Sold 8 in the last 2 weeks.
Nice.
That's awesome. Gives me hope for books. Mike Mecco, there he is. Says, hi, John and Jenna and FA family. How is everyone? My sales continue to be strong. I'm in my 6th year of reselling. Come April, guess I made it past the fail zone.
Yay!
Yes. That's awesome. Dryden Flip says, hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well and starting the year strong. Well, we're
trying.
We're doing our best. I mean, we did start the year sick, which doesn't help, right? Mm-hmm. You're like just run down. When you're sick and run down, man, I tell you, that's really tough to get through.
Because December is just a busy month in and of itself, just with Christmas. But then you add family visiting, friends visiting, NFR, Cowboy Christmas, you name it. We were so run down just with time, and then getting sick, and that it just sucks. Duncan says, I can't keep up with sales, but it's better than the 9 to 5. I could not do a 9 to 5. I think at this point in my life, I would absolutely despise working for someone else. I would be fired the very first hour I was there.
Got Biff says, Happy New Year to all. Nice to see you, Biff.
Happy New Year, Biff.
And Fisher Flip says, would love to know what Duncan sells. Every show he is always saying how his sales are always more than he can handle. I think he sells ephemera that he imports from the U.S., right?
Some of it is.
Well, thanks for being here. We got Callie Deb says, hello, everyone.
Callie Deb!
I hope everyone is healthy and happy. I'm as healthy and happy as I guess I'm going to ever be, right?
Not necessarily. You could be happier tomorrow.
What's going to make me happier?
Well.
Don't say money, because what can I do with money? I guess, I
know.
If I hit the lottery tomorrow, I'd still think about reselling. Believe it or not. As stupid as that sounds, I would be on the golf course and I'll think about how come I haven't got any sales? It's
Because you're just a weirdo.
I'm a weirdo.
You don't ever. He does not know how to unplug. He just doesn't. He never has. We've been together for 17 years. And he's been the same way since.
Duncan says Justin in new KFC burger topped with live frogs and KFC toothpaste. Finger looking good. Happy birthday, Jenna.
Duncan!
Well, her birthday's next week. It's not until the 13th, but thank you for the super chat.
Thank you, Duncan, but no, and no.
Let's see. Joe Samard's with us. Nice to see you, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
And we have Time to Sell Collectibles. Says Happy New Year. Missed Friday, John, Jen, and FAA on time and already got my sale. Yes. We got Tommy Z.
Tommy Z!
Hello, FA family, our most excellent reselling couple. Thank you for the live as always. Well, thank you for being here. It's awesome.
You.
We have 115 people.
And
What are you going to do? Gail says, hello, John and Jenna and FA family. Nice to see you, Gail.
Hey, I'm on my buttons, okay?
Now, let me ask you, why was my video depressing this morning? Just want to know your feedback. Jackie Bleckner says, happy Monday. Nice to see you, Jackie.
Happy Monday, Jackie.
And Tampa Bay Picker says, hello, all. Nice to see you, Tampa Bay Picker. Biff says, I don't know if failure is the right language because it sounds absolute.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
I mean, there's nothing saying you can't come back to reselling, right? But
well, you can't call it an absolute failure unless you absolutely didn't do anything.
But is there anything wrong with saying you failed at something if you learned from it? It doesn't mean you can't come back from it and try again. But look, Michael Jordan was look, I don't care if you're Gen Z or Gen whatever. Michael Jordan was the best basketball player to ever play. Okay, that's the end of that discussion. Being the best basketball player that's ever lived, he missed more shots than he took. He failed more than he succeeded. So failing isn't necessarily absolute. Now, I guess if you quit, that's absolute. Like, I'm quitting and you're never going to see me again on eBay again. Well, then that may be a good or bad thing, but that's to me worse than failure. If you're just like, guys, I can't pay the bills. I have to, stop. I have to go get a job. Well, that's a failure, but it's not something you can't come back from. You can, maybe go part-time.
I don't like it.
David Pentland from Scotland says, good evening. Nice to see you, David.
Hello, David.
And UTC Towing says, hi, guys. Nice to see you. Gail says, I've started out 2026 out with a bang. Been a great weekend.
We love
to hear that. Keith says people try reselling as they think it's easy from the YouTube hype and they see the reality of it and they give up.
Yes.
Maybe that's what it is too. In trying to grow this channel, they look at the channel name, flipping ain't easy, and they're like, no, I don't want nothing to do with that. I want the flipping is easy and I can sit on my ass and do absolutely nothing channel. So maybe that's where we need to name the channel.
Not us.
We need to rename flipping is so damn easy. That's probably what we need to name the channel. Biff says, LQR hasn't updated since Christmas. I try to check it every update. I haven't looked at it in a couple weeks. Just been, my game has not been very good lately. Up until, I'd say, 2-3 days ago when we were feeling better. Coppercat says, hello, John, Jenna, and FA family. I've went over listings, evaluating inventory to get 2026 off to a good start. There you go. Good job. Awesome. What are some things that you haven't done in 2025 that you can do better? It's not about, this nonsense that a channel used to tell us is like, every day, make something better. It's like, that's impossible. You'll run out of freaking things to make better. That's ridiculous. But how about evaluate every so often? And the end of the year, beginning of the year is a great time to evaluate how your last year went so that you can maybe make some changes. And part of this is being honest with yourself. Where are your weaknesses? What are your weaknesses? And work on those. Keith says, I was lucky I beat the eBay machine. Not many are lucky enough to do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you went on to something bigger and better. That's not a failure. That is to me, it's like, that's why I stopped myself on the whole Amtrak thing, saying that I felt like there's things left undone when we left.
Yeah.
Because I was running my own
we were
department. I had
literally
plans.
thrown out the day of.
I had plans. I had processes. I had things in the works with the department I was running, and we were making progress just to watch it get passed on to someone else who probably didn't do as good of a job and probably got rid of all the processes that I had in place because they weren't yet fully implemented. So was that a failure? I don't look at it that way, but you feel bad about it. You feel like, it could have been different. Keith says, that's why I'm still on the fence about letting the employee doing eBay as was suggested to me. I mean,
what is there to lose by allowing her to list on eBay?
Yeah, it's no different than cross-listing.
Yeah.
You get your items, you use a program like TreeCat, get your items on other platforms.
He can't use TreeCat.
He can't yet, but at some point he will be able to. But I said a program like TreeCat.
Oh.
And you get your items pushed over to other platforms. So now your main bread and butter is what you're currently doing, and you're supplementing that income with the help of someone else in this case. And that is giving you, what happens if something goes wrong with your main business model? Maybe there's a lull for a month or something happens to where it's just not the same. Something's caught. I don't know the intricacies of the recycling business that you're doing, but think of the one thing that could disrupt things. And if it happens, if you don't have other outlets set up, then that could cause some problems. Mike Sellers says, Happy New Year, John, Jen, and FA family. Nice to see you.
Happy New Year, Mike.
Kevin Hawthorne from...
and Ranger.
Yes. Kevin Hawthorne says, good evening. I doubt he's in Lakeland anymore.
Hi, Kevin.
He doesn't seem...
Where are you?
He's in an undisclosed location. I'm concerned. Ping says, hello, John and Jenna and the chat. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday,
I see you, Ping. Let's see. Biff says, some say Google doesn't care for bullet points.
Well, Google can go fly.
I'm going to do some research on that.
Because it's easier to read in my opinion. It is way easier to get the accurate information in a bullet point rather than reading through a paragraph of your nonsensical words that are jumbled together because AI wants to fluff it up.
I have never heard anyone say anything about the format of the information in your item description. The only thing that I've ever heard eBay say that you should have are keyword rich item descriptions that essentially supplement your title. So for me, it's much easier for a buyer. And so you're doing that for the algorithm, and in this case, Google's algorithm, but you get your customer into the listing. How do you help your conversion rate? By having clear and defined information that's very easy to read and not some blob of text that's full of these keywords that nobody wants to try to navigate through to find out if this is the thing I need.
And just from a buyer's perspective, as a buyer of everything online, I do not read anything that is in a paragraph form. If it is in a paragraph form, I will move on. I don't have the time nor the patience to sit through reading a paragraph. I want to know the key things about it, and I want it dead set right in front of me. Otherwise, I move on.
Derek says, no plan is like driving blind down a curvy hill.
That's true.
Yeah, someone's going to get hurt.
Yeah, somebody's dying.
Todd says, Jenna's patient with me. John isn't. LOL.
That's facts.
No, but wait. But how's that facts? I am very
I'm defending my patience.
But what about defending
Todd?
me? I have not been impatient with Todd.
Well, you do kind of give him
No.
much.
If I've made you feel that way, truly, I apologize. My goal is to try to help someone.
I get it, but he doesn't need it.
Okay, well, he's made that clear too. But there's others out there that do, I think.
Well, yeah.
But then again, everyone needs to do what they are going to do, and
I
makes them happy.
I gotta stay right with Todd because I'm on the wheel. I'm in the wheel.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I might just get the backhand.
He's gonna spit the dirt
Duncan
back
says,
up at you.
Jenny has no patience for no one except Colonel Sanders.
No, I don't have any patience for him.
The Colonel.
Yeah, it's really awful right now, guys. Whatever is happening inside of me, the patience level is 0. Absolute 0.
It's called getting to that age where you just have no F's to give.
That's exactly right.
Semperfi is with us. Nice to see you. Customer service is very important. Treating them can sometimes turn a negative into a positive experience and a positive review. I promise you, if you interact with these buyers in a way like when there's a problem, I'm not saying be eBay representative apologetic, like stupid over the top. This is not even sincere. This is just like you don't care. You're just saying it. But you know what? Trying to help them solve the problem if there is a problem, offering them options when there is a problem. You know, hey, I'm sorry this thing arrived the way it is. If you can still use it, I'll give you some of your money back. If not, we do offer returns. I'd be happy to take it. It's also how you talk to them. If you're flip with somebody, give them a one-liner. That's not customer service. It's they say there's a problem. Do what you can to make yourself seem personable so that you can have a conversation with somebody. Yeah, you'll still probably get that return, but when eBay comes asking for their feedback, they're probably not going to give you a full out negative. They might give you a neutral, or maybe it's a positive. I've received positives that could have easily been negatives had I not stepped in and was, personable with the people. Semperfi just got through talking about that. That says Keith says the rate John's going, it should be called returns ain't easy.
Oh my gosh.
But it isn't as
it's a lot better, but
knock on wood, it hasn't been as bad.
It's not as bad, thank goodness.
This is the time of the year where you expect a lot of returns too. So it's
yeah, but we're not in that category of I bought this for my grandma and she doesn't love it, and we don't fall into that category.
Keith says Jenna. Todd says I love when Jenna reads ahead in chat. I can't stand that. She cheats, and Jenna sees all the chat before John does. Yes.
Yes. It's the best part.
Keith says you better believe our reseller mom is watching over all of us. Make sure we're behaving in chat.
That's right.
Yeah, this is all during my diatribe. I hope someone got something out of that. I think everyone needs to have a moment with themselves to say, hey, am I really doing all the things I can do to make this thing work? Do I want to be reselling it? Maybe you don't want to be reselling in 5 years. Maybe this is just a bridge to get to somewhere. Like once I hit retirement, I ain't doing any of this crap. Maybe it's just your like I was in maintain mode for a couple years. It wasn't till like the last 6-7 months that I thought, you know what, let's grow this thing. Time to Sell Collectibles says I've made a few changes to improve my process. Number 1, upgraded from iPhone 12 to 17.
12?
Yeah, that would help.
Wow.
Much improved camera.
Yeah.
And going to use AI, $14.95 monthly for books and media. So there you go.
At least you have a plan.
Yes, and Michelle R is with us. Nice to see Michelle R. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And JRKR, Jen, is with us.
Jen.
Nice to see you. Noah's Attic says, hey, guys.
Hello.
Happy Monday. Hit my like and got my sale. Thanks.
Awesome.
Alicia says, holy cow, I literally hit the like and not 20 seconds later got the eBay sale winning. Okay. So you guys, when you hit the like button, you get that sale. Don't sit on my cancellation request. Please, I'm going to try to hit you up with a cancellation request quick. Because the sales are coming from me. If they hit the like button, I'm buying from them. That's what's really happening. And I don't want to buy all these things.
You're
UTC Towing says, good evening so far this year. Hit 1K each day, 5 days in a row.
Yes!
What you doing? Take that crown back. Okay. Yeah. See, she's to want me to read the stuff that's sidebar convo. No. Beard says, is the ramp over? I wanted to miss it. You probably meant rant. But with the accent, it heard you say ramp when you're doing the voice dictation. The ramp is never over, sir.
Never.
It's a continual ramp with breaks.
Yeah, no.
Alicia says, I may have missed one of your videos, but what are you both planning on doing with the promoted policy changing on January 13th? Business as usual. I'm not doing a thing. My process is what it is when it comes to promoted listings. And if you operate in the mindset of I'm expecting to be charged the promoted fee every time my item sells. If it doesn't, that's great too. And so in your mindset, when you're trying to calculate how much you plan on making on this item, you want to figure in the category's final value fee, and that's different from category to category, plus the percentage that you're using for that category. Figure out in your mind, do the rough math of what am I going to pay in eBay fees, what's it going to cost to ship this thing, and what am I into the item for. Those three values, and then deduct what you are selling it for. That's what you're going to make. Have a ballpark idea and expect that. And if it's less fees because eBay didn't charge you, after the 13th, it's going to go from about 60% of the time you're being charged the promoted listing fee to about, I'd say 85-90% of the time. In my mind, the calculations that I've done, it's probably going to be about that. And the other 10 to 15% of the time, you're just not going to get charged a fee for it. Now, that's for those who actually use promoted listings. It's not going to change a thing for those who don't. But yeah, just the mindset that that money is gone.
Mm-hmm.
UTC Towing, no promotion so far. Just trying out. Last year I did. Trying it out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We got Basket Noodle. Trust me, you get older, things get smaller. It's built in the algorithm. The algorithm.
Well, that sucks for you, B nudes. We don't seem to have that problem
Todd
over
says
here.
Beard is older than dirt.
No, he's not. Says
And
the one that's older.
This is what gets me. How come, Beard, you haven't made like something crazy with the photo you do have of Todd to show everyone for all these kind of comments? Right here. Beard is older than dirt. I haven't gone that far. Beard says Jenna is the one that I wanted to handle small packages. That's why she's got you.
Hate to tell you, buddy, but I'm not dealing with no
Bearded,
small package over here.
Beard says John the Explorer must have killed Jenna one night.
Yes, I almost literally died.
Let's see.
You've got some things you need to...
I will get there. Primo Chemo says, whatever happened to Primo?
What did happen to Primo?
What happened to Primo? What is it that
and
you're
where
working...
is Spam?
What is it that you're working on that requires you to miss a live when the holidays are over? So it's like New Year, it's time to go. Let's get these lives going. And you didn't follow through with what you're supposed to. So we got Primo and Snap did not show up. Snap. Her new nickname, Snap. It's not Spam. We're just calling it right now. It's Snap. Because that's what she's been saying. Snap, 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 snap. When she's been taking all those pictures. So her new nickname is Snap. Let's see. Primo is a quitter. That's not right. Keith says, if you're not reselling, you're not going to tune into reselling. Should I go then?
No! You stay with us for life.
See, you said you were going to stay, even though you knew you were going to leave. Shopping with Cheryl says, I can't believe y'all started without me.
I'm so sorry.
Let's see. Beard says, Primo, no hello to you. Just say hi to Snap.
Oh, boy.
Snapped. Shopping with Cheryl says, you can still scratch your butt with the gloves you make food with.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's where they get all the crunchiness from.
Oh!
Let's see. Beard says, at this point, I'm sure they're 3D printing KFC chicken.
Oh, God.
Beard says, here's the fact. Restaurant workers not wearing gloves are much the same cleaner than wearing gloves. Well, you get your food handler and they're making your sandwich.
Wearing gloves or not, they're not properly.
They make your sandwich and then they go and handle money with the gloves on.
And they're like, wait, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Well, I'll be right back. Who uses the bathroom with gloves on? Nobody does that, do they? No, but they take the gloves off. I never
said that they had the gloves on. I don't care whether you have the gloves on or not. You're touching food.
Let's see. Shopping Cheryl says, no one will hire me. I'm old and way too grumpy.
Yeah. My talkback meter is it's the highest level.
Biff likes to pour wine a couple days per week. It gets him out and talking to people, and the work is not hard by any means. I don't really look at it as if I'd rather do the eBay.
Yeah, and that's really cool to be able to have an outlet to go do something else, to talk to people, to socialize, to get out and just be interactive with society.
Yeah. Derek says, not quitting reselling. No way. Not giving up now. Work too hard to get where I'm at now. Just not making enough sales yet to pay the bills full time.
That's okay. You keep grinding, Derek. You got this.
Look up a site called Liquidation Map. I think I've talked about it before, not so often, but see if there's like any liquidators in your area. I
don't know why it dawned. I always forget. Derek, are you in Texas? Is Derek in Texas?
I don't know.
I know Big Dre is.
Well, anyway, that's that. Mad Hatter Boutique Brett says, hey, 4 years in and still going strong. Sales are great. Raiders beat the Chiefs.
Oh.
And, of course, Broncos are the #1 seed. It was a great weekend. Hope you're doing well.
Hope you guys are doing well. How's the baby?
Yeah, hopefully everything's good with the family.
How's everything going with your move and everything?
Let's see. Go down here. Travis in Dallas is okay. So the diesel heater running, cooking in cooking oil, your whole place smells like burnt fries.
That's what I can imagine.
I can see Duncan now like saying, you know what, I gotta get closer to Keith.
Own KFCs.
I can like make some fried chicken and kind of Keith says, Derek, I can see the work you put in, and what you put in now will reward you down the road.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Time to Sell Collectibles says, I have 40 years government service just for benefits. Now 2 pensions and medical benefits for life. Tier 3 reselling. Tear reselling to downsize stuff family no longer wants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Melanie's says, hi, John and Jenna. Noticed you have numbers on your racks shelves. I was wondering if you also label your boxes so you know which box it is when you find the shelf. So
yes, we actually made a whole new system, and it is working outstanding.
So we got these numbers. It's the different number system. So every time we list an item, we slap that label on there, and then we assign a shelf to it. So in our SKU, it might be shelf 15, and then we'll put that number on there, and then I'll put my cost, and then I'll give her.
It's so much easier to match the product's number wherever he pulled it from. I don't care, but the number to what sold, it's been a game changer for me.
And you can get those on Amazon and stuff. Those stickers. Travis says there's a YouTuber talking about selling paper. She has over 54,000 views in 5 days.
Paper.
Could be ephemera, right? I don't know exactly when you say paper what you mean by that, but if it's ephemera or
paper,
like
old
menus. I mean, I found an old Elvis menu in an Elvis LP. You know that menu. It's from a concert in 1976 from the International Hotel over here, where it is now the Westgate. And someone paid it was on auction. Someone paid like $80-something for that menu. Sweet Thing says, now that is funny. Sorry, I love frogs.
Oh God, you keep them all. You can have all of them. Oh my God, I love your little profile.
Icy Duck says, hey, I just saw Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy full audiobook on YouTube, freebie, I guess.
Oh, there you go.
But this is the 4th version. I don't know. Maybe they say something different. I don't know. But it's something I'm going to try to check out here. I have it on my phone. I had a pet frog once, but it croaked. Where's Pigs Fly Farm? I'm with you, John. I never unplug either, and I love it. Couldn't imagine living a normal life.
Yeah.
I mean,
I could not go back into the workforce. I really couldn't.
I think part of life is having something that you look forward to doing. And that's why so many people, they would retire from Amtrak, and you're like, oh, lucky them. And then they either die or they find another job, or sometimes they came back. And they end up
very
working.
rare, but they did.
And it's like, it's like nothing to look forward to. Now, I don't know. There's a lot of things that I would do if you gave me the green light to say, you have money and you can do whatever you want, golf whenever you want, do the things whenever you want. I would still resell, but nowhere near on the level that I'm at right now. That's for sure. Icy Duck says, I liked your video this morning. I always like to know others have comments of, I don't want to, or get up and do it. We all go through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think reselling, if you want to be successful at reselling, you learn right away that sleeping in every day ain't going to cut it. Now, you might be able to sleep in every day, but that's probably going to mean that you're going to stay up late, because there's some people that sleep in, it's like, hey, this is the life, but they work late hours, but I don't see too many successful people sleeping in and going to bed at a decent hour. That's for sure. Consistently. Time to Sell Collectibles says, I found FAA because I thought John was flipping houses, but then got hooked on reselling. Well, you know what? I was going to trademark this damn name, Flipping Ain't Easy, and found some guy that was actually flipping houses using that name, but I think he let it lapse. So I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
ain't that big of a deal.
The funny thing is he is from the area where we're from in California.
Yeah, same
and
city.
That was weird.
Failure. Icy Duck says, failure is, I see it as a pain is a precursor to growth. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, we have many failures every day. You'll have many. You send an item to somebody that is in great condition, and they return it because there's something like a flaw in it that they didn't see and that you didn't see. It feels kind of like a failure, right? It's like, okay, I'll learn next time to check wherever it is that you didn't check. So
that's why I'm so tedious when it comes to packing orders, because I don't want to hear from the peanut gallery that it was packed improperly or it could have been better in any way.
Keith says, if you ask Josh Galt, it's not failure, it's just another step towards achievements yet to become real. I mean, if you take the lesson, and instead of ignoring what the lesson is, and you put it into play the next time you do that thing, then it's not a failure. I mean, you could apply that to anything, to bowling, to golf, to anything that you decide to do in life. It's the same kind of concept. But now, if you constantly ignore that lesson, like, okay, I keep doing this and I keep getting returns because of it, and you don't fix the problem, that could lead to your ultimate failure of not succeeding at reselling. Basket Noodle says, now it's really time to eat my vittles, so take care of all if I'm not back. God bless everyone. God bless you too, sir.
God bless you.
Time to Sell Collectibles says, reselling is easy, forecasting for profits ain't.
That's facts.
Brandy's with us, says, I'm still here, just been quiet working away. Happy New Year, John and Jenna. Nice to see you, Brandy.
Happy New Year, Brandy.
Let's see. John Gaynor says,
hello,
hi,
John.
Gina and John. Have you ever had someone come into your home and go no shit?
And I say, welcome to eBay. And they say, this is not for me. Selling is not for everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, we actually have a friend that was in it for all of 24 hours and gave up very, very quickly when they figured out just how much work you have to do.
Where Pigs Fly Farm says, Josh made a good point this morning. The descriptions are not for the humans. They're for the Google AI. I disagree with that statement. And you got to understand that where the motivations are, I guess, right? And I'll leave it at there with that statement. In my assessment, if you firmly believe that your buyers do read your listings, you have people that want to make informed buying decisions. They do not want to spend their money. Now, look, there are people who don't read anything, and I'd say that's probably a smaller percentage than we'd like to think. But there's a percentage of buyers who will look at your listing, who will click on that hyperlink that's on the mobile app because eBay likes to hide it for some reason. Click on that, and they'll see your listing. And if it's just a blurb of crap, then people might be like, yeah, too much information, didn't read. Okay.
That's me.
If you have it laid out in a way that is clear to read, and what I like to do is I like to have it not only bulletized, but the first few words of that bulletized statement is in bold. So if they're looking for compatible with or something like that, it catches their eye and they find the information quickly. This is helping the conversion rate. It's not helping. See, the keywords that are being talked about that AI is looking for, the keyword rich listings, that's just to get the buyer to your listing. Okay, so it's fine. We all have high impressions. Look at your impressions. You'll be like, wow, I get a lot of impressions, but no sales. What does that mean? That means you got people that are looking for items similar to what you're selling. And then your number of views will tell you if the listing is compelling enough for them to click into the listing. And then your number of sales tell you if your listing had enough conversion, had all the things that you need to get that customer compelled to buy your item. Okay, so I don't think any of us are into this for views or for impressions. We want the sales, but you have to. So it's not enough just to get the impressions. It's not enough to get the view. So when you get your buyer in that listing, how do you convert the sale? And having those bulletized item descriptions where it's very easy for the buyer to get the information they're looking for is going to help your conversion rate. I'd like to think our sales are pretty darn good for the size of store we have. I mean, I constantly think that, I do a lot of reviews on a lot of different stores on eBay, and it's like, how in the hell am I only sitting here with 200 and now it's 280 items in my store, and I'm able to sell at the level that I'm able to sell at? And I do believe that part of it is having a very, very complete listing along with bulletized items. You're never gonna knock me off that hill. That's just the way. I want more than just views. I want the conversion, and no paragraph that you put in the listing, I don't care how many keywords you fluff that thing up with, is not going to help with your conversion once that buyer's in the listing. Derek says, I bought 3 bags full of the little toy for $4 each. Like going to throw those as I find stuff to resell. Plus, it's easy to ship. Most stuff not worth much when sold, but it adds up. Yeah. True. We do have a gift membership. So thank you, Keith. There. Who got it?
It's Joshua Hill 3054.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Thank you, Keith.
Welcome to the channel. And if you remember, and you got another one here. Darn it. Thank you for that, Keith. Silverista. Thank you guys. Thank you, Keith. And
thank you, Keith.
You guys now have access to the members only content. And I think we're going to be doing one on Wednesday. In fact, I know we're going to be doing a members only roundtable where we kind of go in and look at listings and try to, you know what? Let's give some constructive criticism to certain stores, whether you volunteer your store or we're looking at maybe stores that are currently out there to maybe learn from best practices and stuff. Beard says, we all know you're so old, Todd. You don't have feelings. Wow.
He has feelings for the right kind of people.
Biff says, bullet points may help the buyer, but Google thinks bullet points are too fragmented.
Google can go.
It could be a niche specific, so that may work for you. I've been researching all aspects of search. I'm going to do a deeper dive in this, but honestly, I think sometimes we have to make listings for the algorithm, and we also have to consider the buyer.
Yeah.
And
no buyer is going to read through paragraph after paragraph of things that you could have put in simplicity into a bullet form. It's just a fact.
Thrift a Little says, wait, people are planning on retirement? Well, no. I mean, I am getting a retirement at 67.
Yeah, but just because a check's coming in the mail doesn't mean you're retiring.
No, but it can certainly help. I think at 67, I'm going to want to kind of maybe go part-time. I don't know. We'll see how I feel.
We'll see how that goes.
I got to get there first.
Yeah,
Karen a Bear says, hi, John and Jenna. I'm late, but finally able to get on. Just sold a tie today for $33.99.
$33.99 for a tie. That's awesome.
Here it says, those idiots do everything with gloves on, including take out the trash, smoke, whatever. Oh, that just sucks.
Yeah. Beard probably has stories for days. I don't want to hear any of it because it will make me not want to eat at a restaurant. Hey,
we got the goat. Pete is with us.
Hello, Pete.
And then Craig, I guess Pete was looking for some he received on his last video, he received this bag that had like a bunch of patches and stuff that he bought. And I'm like, what is that? I sent him a text. I said, what is that, Pete?
Oh.
I said, let me know what you got. I know what you're into it for, so let me know what you want. But yeah, let me know. I'm certainly interested in that. And thanks for dropping by. Graham in Vegas says, "Hey folks, good to be here. Sales have been okay lately. Working on scheduling 5 listings each day to keep the store moving."
Nice.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I've heard things from people like, what was it, years ago? Like Rally Roots or something said, yeah, list 5 items a day. You'll be fine. I don't know about all that. I just think that you should just be focused on doing the best you can with the time you have. What's so funny?
Shopping with Cheryl. She says, my new description for all listings, simply buy my shit. That's right up my alley, girl. That's what I'm talking about.
So we got Dark Horses. I found out that Tree Cat works better for one-off listings. Myself doing the real work. Yeah, I mean, if you're using the AI tool, it'll actually get in there and it'll put that information in there for you. So, and it's bulletized. I wonder how they figure that out. We do have a lot of input in the Tree Cat tool. Jovial says, hey, FA fam, charted the party. It's dialogue day, so I talk away there, John. You missed a lot of that.
No, we don't want that. Can we fast forward through dialogue day?
Do you really not want me to talk? We'll let you take over.
a lot.
But I have to. You got to keep. You know what? There's a lot of talking to run this show. It would be.
But he does it when he's not on camera. You do a lot of talking.
Well, then I won't talk to you anymore. How about that? Susan says, Jenna.
I could do with a little limited.
Jenna, are you in the pre-M or already in the big M? Don't know your age. I am 60 and it's so refreshing with the attitude. I don't give a SH. No patience for nothing.
That's me. And it's pre-M. So yes, I am there. And
if you go to France, you can eat croissant de granola avec des nueurs. I think I got that right.
No, you didn't.
Dark Horse says, in order to know my package dimensions, I gotta solve that issue.
Huh?
I don't know. I may be reading a sidebar combo. Melanie says, thanks for showing the sticker you use for your boxes on each of the shelves. I use a sticker NIM label printer. I copy and paste my eBay title and print it and stick on each box if the item gets old, there's always getting in the way.
Since you have a label printer, you could honestly just do numbers. The way that these numbers have changed the game for me, matching up, because he just puts the stuff in piles in the office when I'm ready to go in and ship, and all I do is I match this little number with the number that's on the package, and if they don't match, I question him. So these are it's a game changer for us. I mean, things were getting lost. I
mean, before I write what the hell it is on there, and I'm like looking at the box, going, "Is this it?" I'm not sure.
Yeah, and he would write in permanent marker on it so that it's just better. It's just way easier this way.
Icy Duck says, yes, keep going. My dad retired 20 years ago, 87 now, big hobby gun guy. Still goes to the gun club as he has forever. If he didn't have the hobby, I don't think he'd still be here and be as healthy as he is.
Absolutely.
You got to have something to look forward to. And that's the thing. It's not healthy to work, eBay, and not have some kind of an outlet. For me, it's getting out and threatening people's windows and homes with my golf ball.
Which is what he did on Sunday.
But I played in the golf course where there's no homes, so it was safe.
Oh, okay. So everybody was safe.
So they didn't have to do that Amber Alert for everyone in the area.
It's a silver alert.
Yeah. Susan Phelps says, I'm retiring at the end of May and been reselling for almost 2 years. Locked in and loaded. Wanted to have some challenge in my life at 61. Don't want to waste away on a couch. Yes.
True.
And the Dark Horse doesn't mind the listings, really. The packaging is my best concern now. Biggest concern now. Taking photos is not a big deal. It just takes more time with clothing. Yes, I agree with that. Shop with Cheryl, do you think sending offers to watchers helps eBay push your listing because there is action? Yes.
Yes.
I think also not declining a bad offer. And, I had this guy sent me an offer. He said he wanted to buy it for 10. This is on the second store. I had it for 20. I'm like, let's meet halfway at 15. But really, I've seen the comps. I mean, this has not been on my store very long. 15 is probably, I'll just lower it to 15 if I have to. So I gave him 15. He came back at 10. Well, I went back at 15. Look, it might seem like a waste of time in a game, but you're showing eBay that there's some interest in that item, going back and forth over it. And there's been many times you send an offer to somebody and you wake up the next morning and someone else bought it at full price. And I'm talking about items that have been sitting for a while sometimes. It's Dark Horse, the sourcing and thrifting and getting paid is the fun part. Mm. Yep, and you got to find a way to make the middle stuff make it important. It may not be fun, but make it something that you have to do. Just get it done. Susan says, I had an item shipped and it arrived broken over a year ago. Never happened again. I'm a quick learner. Yeah.
Yes.
Glenn Cameron says, hello, FAE. I arranged my space over the weekend. Kind of took one out of James H's books, standing with my laptop, my back to the TV. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, you take your space and you optimize it. You feel more productive. So I love my space out there. I just have to get more stuff to get it in play. A lot of empty racks.
We have a lot of empty racks right now with the whole change in the garage that we made. So I think we need to ramp up our
Well, we got another
purchases.
Gift membership. Thank you, Keith.
Oh, look at that. I see Ducks got a membership.
So I hope those of you got a membership, please thank Keith for being generous like that. And make sure you're with us on Wednesday, same time, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern to do the reseller roundtable. We go deeper into things than we would with a lot of people,
and I'm not there to interrupt, so it goes better for you guys.
Time to Sell Collectible says, description needs to clarify title keywords, bulletize primary specs, keep narrative to 2 to 3 sentences, seller's policies. Yeah, I have the little blurb on the bottom for seller policies just because that's more for the buyer. That's not anything to do. I mean, why would anyone put we ship on Mondays through Fridays. We don't ship on weekends. Please reach out before giving a negative. Those kind of little blurbs that you give aren't for the algorithm. These are for the buyers to give them some direction when they're looking at your listing. So for me, it's like, why does this information have to come across like an unreadable blob of text? I mean, if that was the case, why don't we just have the information in there as white lettering on a white background? If it's for the algorithm, it's really to prevent a couple things. Well, it's to help you convert the sale, but also, how many times have you, I have something that maybe could have used like a measurement, right? Like maybe having a tape measure to show a scale of what that, how big the item was. And so because I didn't have that photo and I didn't have that listed in the item description, guess what? I get a question. Like, can you tell me the measurements of this thing? And so it's the things you fail to include in your listing that's going to create buyers to reach out. And when buyers are reaching out, that's effort. And you want to create a low effort buying experience. Have all the information in that listing so they don't have to reach out to you for anything, because buyers don't want to have buyers as equally as you don't want to be a pen pal to a buyer. These buyers really don't care about you, and they don't want to be a pen pal for you either. Yeah. So most of them, some are weird, but most people just want to live their lives. Is this the damn thing I need or not? And I don't want to wait 4 or 5 hours for you to get back to me. So I can confirm this is what I need. Yeah. So have it all in the listing in a way that's readable. Shopping with Cheryl says, my new description for all my listings, simply buy my SHIT.
I love it. That's exactly the way I feel.
Shopping with Cheryl. John just threatened Jenna not to talk. LOL, her prayers have been answered.
I could only wish.
Man, I tell you. Shopping with Cheryl says, I have those numbers and use the produce type bags. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Let's see. Karen Bear says, I think your sticker numbers are a great idea. I needed that. And just go on to Amazon. What, you want to speak that? You want to read that?
No, but it's ew.
Frog legs and noodles.
Yuck. Please tell me you don't eat that.
Thrift a Little says, I've accidentally put the wrong inventory number on the custom SKU, so I started adding a picture of the inventory number on the listing. Helps a ton as a second level of quality. There you go.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Glenn says, "Hey, John, longtime Raiders fan. Who do you think we're going to draft? Are they finally getting? We're going to get Mendoza. So Mendoza, the quarterback from Indiana University. I'm certain of it. Write it down. The pick is in. The pick is in. Fernando, I think it's Fernando Mendoza, if I'm not correct, not mistaken. But the dude is the attention to detail this guy has. The first day of camp, I guess when I guess he had transferred to Indiana University, to memorize every player's name on that team before day one is insane to me. Just the level of detail. So that's what the Raiders need. Time to sell collectibles. John has to pay his tree tax.
Yep.
Basca says, third day eating the Christmas ham. We delayed as flu running crazy in the community. Yeah.
Yeah, we were going to do another ham for New Year's, but we're like, let's take a little break.
Biff says, buyers of historical items don't mind a paragraph. It just depends on who you're selling to. You can't really make bullet points work for an old stereo view like you could for a VCR. I don't know. We'll just have to agree to disagree on that point. I'm that convinced about the bulletized item description that I don't see any instance
Although
where it's not.
I kind of see where Biff is with historical items, yes, because you're looking for something very specific.
Right. So you can say date, location. You know, these are all laid out, right? So you're telling a story by just putting the facts in a bulletized way. It's like, well, okay, boom, 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 rather than having to read, War and Peace just to get to the damn information. Dark Horse says, the disorganization and space constraints aside are keeping me from taking photos. List more. I've got to tame my space. Yes.
Yeah, you have to have a working, organized space. Otherwise, you're going to live in chaos. And it's not workable.
He says, John, shush, you can't give those secrets out about white lettering on white background. I don't think eBay wants you to do that. I think you get kind of pushed down. Is that really
something somebody does?
Well, I think that it is certainly things that people have done when you're talking about keyword spamming. So you're selling a pair of like Nike shoes, but you want to get all the Adidas folks and all the other brands to like look at your shoes. So you'll put that in the listing with white background and white lettering. So it's not seen by anybody, so you can't get reported, but eBay sees it there. See, Icy Duck says, I agree. People are too busy to read a paragraph. People have zero attention for anything, so make it short and sweet. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or at least readable. So that's why I put in bold when I can the first few words of that bullet point so that it helps them get what they need and move on.
Wait, you missed Paul.
Where's Paul?
Paul, hello, Paul.
Right here. Oh, morning here, John and Jenna. Morning. You both look well.
Oh, yeah.
Morning. It's late night right now. So here's what we're gonna do. I want to give away a hat and a shirt from Tree Cat. So
we're still doing that?
Yeah, we're still doing that. Darn it! They haven't told me to stop, so we're gonna keep doing it. So they're gonna give you 2 free months through the end of February. At least that's what I know so far. And we have to meet with them tomorrow, so we may know more on that. But they're adding a lot of cool features to this cross-listing program. And what I want to do is I want to give you guys a hat and a shirt, like we always do. So I want you guys to put a number between 1 and 200 in the chat. And the closest to that number will win. And while you're doing that, we're going to play the new Tree Cat promo, and we'll be right back. You hear us talking about Tree Cat all the time on this channel, and there's a reason for it. We're a big proponent of getting your items onto other platforms and not having all your items on eBay in one basket. And to do that effectively, you really need a cross-listing tool. Now, we've used a lot of different cross-listers, and I got to tell you that Tree Cat is the most comprehensive tool that we've used. We've had a hand in helping to develop it, but it's just packed full of features, and for the cost, you're not paying a monthly fee like a lot of all other different cross-listers make you pay. This one here, you pay as you sell. So you have a small fee when you make a sale, when it's a billable action, meaning that you've used one of the features that have linked to a sale. And guys, I got to tell you, there's nothing better than, if you have a bad month, not really worrying about having to pay all these extra fees for something that you didn't really get. So Tree Cat is loaded with a lot of features. I mean, really don't have a time to go over all of them, but some of the coolest ones are you got the AI autofill, where AI will get in there and fill in your item specifics. They do have a dedicated listing tool where you can go in and list from there and have all the same features that you would have on eBay, but the library that they have for you as compared to eBay holding your listings for only 90 days. So if you find something again, say 6 months later, you have the photo and the listing right there in TreeCat, and you can just launch it instead of having to go back and create the listing all over again. They're implementing an AI lister with just photos, so that's baked into the price you pay as you sell. There's the delist feature where if you sell something on another platform, it's going to be removed off of eBay and vice versa. So again, so many features. And the coolest thing is, for the next 2 months, you use my affiliate code down below, you're going to get the services for free, regardless of how many items you sell. And that'll give you a chance to check it out, to see for yourself if TreeCat is for you. And so we're that confident that you're going to like TreeCat. They're giving you the first 2 months for free, just so that you can confirm what I'm already telling you. So what are you waiting for? Go over to TreeCat, use my affiliate code down below, and get started today. Get started, darn it. And it's not going to cost you anything but some time, and go sign up and check it out for yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a random number. Looks like the last one was looks like Lisa Ray. And so Lisa, since you wiped out 141, and you wiped out 121, we have a lot of numbers. We're going to use your first number that you chose, so because you can't use all the numbers. So yeah, there's a lot of different submissions. So we're going to use the first one you chose. So here we go. There you go.
143.
143 is the number.
Okay.
And so Jenna's going to look up the winner while we do some...
spot on is Biff.
Biff?
Yep.
I think he won before, though, but he might. Biff, do you want it? If not, we'll go on to the next one. Let us know.
Hold on, let me see if anybody else got.
So Duncan says, packing done, gotta go. Post them up the road, and we'll keep an eye out for frogs. Bye, Jenna. Not even a bye for me, huh?
Bye, Duncan.
Let's see. We got Icy Ducks is talking to Dark Horse. John Gainer says, John, now 75 years old and selling 21 years on eBay. If you love selling, it never gets old. It gets me up every day, and I have something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Keith says, yes, it is again, Paul. Only a few more hours. I'll be heading back to the warehouse.
He said redraw.
Redraw?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to well, we got Power Corrupts is 144.
Oh, yeah.
So Power Corrupt, is there a 142 on there?
But those came in after.
No.
Yes. Because Lisa was right here.
Oh, they did?
Right there.
Okay. So can't have it. Yeah, we had to draw a line. So we're going to do this. Keep the existing numbers that we have on there. We're going to rerun it. Okay, so we're going to redraw it right now, and we're going to get a different number for the winner.
He said give it to Power Corrupts.
I'm going to rerun it so people feel like it's fair. Okay? Do it that way, and let's get that off the screen, and let's run it. It's working. Where are we at?
Really?
It didn't. It gave 147.
No,
it's right here. I don't know why it did it like that. Don't know why I did it like that.
Yeah.
AI is crazy today. Don't ask me.
So it's 147.
147 is probably Power Corrupts. No, we got Gail Carlson. 149 is the winner on that.
Yeah.
You look it up. Basket says, I don't know, I have 5 racks of stuff, then in storage enough to fill 2-car garage, literally in the roof twice. That's a lot of stuff. Derek says, I have a few little things left to do on the eBay side, like putting some stuff on sale. Then I'll be off reading my book and into bed. How about reading the book while you're working? Having it on, like maybe in some earbuds while you're working. Try that. That could be helpful. Icy Duck says, what's with the Santa and such emojis on the title? I see them right in the beginning and they sell. I thought that was a no-no.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not to say it won't sell, but eBay discourages it. So I've seen items sell with like the fire and the lightning bolts, but they're saying now that I guess you get pushed down. Because see, you can get pushed down the algorithm and still sell if someone's looking for something specific, but you're not going to rank as high according to eBay. Let's see. Is there anything else here? We got Craig Wine says, I shipped out a big mouth frog soap sponge holder.
Oh, no.
So
there's no frogs in this house.
So who's the winner? Count says, you think AI is crazy now, John? Give it a few years. Yeah, I'm going to be working with AI to try to develop a better outro. So right now we're still dealing with the old outro, and a lot of people are saying like, we got to deal with that, and it's too long and disruptive. They don't want to listen to the music. I get it. I'm going to do something that's fun, but at the same time, going to be some kind of an outro for the program. So stay tuned for that. Maybe something I work on tonight. Who won?
It's gonna. I guess Gail. It's gonna go for Gail.
So Gail, reach out to me at Flippin. Gail Carlson got 149. flippinainteasy2020@gmail.com, and give me your shirt size, and we'll get you a hat and a shirt sent out to you. Of course, we need your address. So please send me that. Jovio says, I had a big bullfrog jump out of the water while fishing and smack me in the side of the neck.
What?
I about peed my pants with fright, and my friend about peed her pants with laughter.
I would have screamed bloody murder.
Where's the video?
Oh my gosh. I would have died. I literally would have died.
So guys, I want to thank you guys for all being here. As we always say, and we mean it, we're not just saying it, you guys are the best part of this channel.
Yes.
It's the fact that you guys continue to show up here every week and participate. And, it's just, you look at the time we start and the time we end, and like, how the hell did an hour and a half go by so fast? And it's not because of me yapping. It's because of you guys and the questions and the comments and all that. So thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. Hit the like button on the way out. Get your sale within the next 24 hours. And look for some videos. I'm going to try to get some more content out.
And there is going to be a members only on Wednesday at 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern.
Yeah.
So until then, guys, have a great start to your week, and we will talk to you here.
We love you. God bless.
Soon.
Have a great week. Bye.
All resellers are going to make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy by your side. Sourcing great items is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the things that are within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy. Let's roll. Let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks, the name with Scott and Josh. Flipping's more than a game. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy by your side. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks, the name with Scott and Josh. Flipping's more than a game. Let's roll. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy by your side. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy by your side. Let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks, the name with Scott and Josh. Flipping's more than a game.
You can do it!